friends, champions, architects of your own destiny, listen carefully to what I am about to share with you. Today, we embark on a journey that will separate you from the masses, distinguish you from the mediocre, and elevate you to heights you have only dared to dream of. This is not mere inspiration. This is transformation. Your comfort zone is not your friend. It is your greatest enemy, disguised as safety, wrapped in the illusion of security. It whispers sweet lies of contentment while your dreams wither and your potential remains forever locked away. But you are here because something deep within you refuses to accept mediocrity. You are here because you understand that greatness demands departure from the familiar. The time for comfortable living is over. The time for extraordinary achievement begins now. Let me tell you something about the human mind that most people never discover. Your brain is designed to keep you safe, not to make you successful. It is programmed for survival, not for achievement. Every time you attempt to break through to a new level of performance, your mind activates its ancient alarm system, flooding your consciousness with fear, doubt, and every conceivable reason to retreat to familiar ground. This is not weakness. This is biology. But here is what separates the achievers from the dreamers. They understand this mechanism and refuse to be controlled by it. When Andrew Carnegie first challenged me to interview 500 of America's most successful men and women, my comfort zone screamed in protest. Who was I, a young journalist with modest means, to approach titans of industry? Who was I to believe that these giants would share their secrets with me? My mind painted vivid pictures of rejection, humiliation, failure. But I had learned something that most people never grasp. Comfort zones are prisons with unlocked doors. The only thing keeping you inside is your willingness to remain there. You must understand this fundamental truth. Every limitation you accept becomes a boundary you cannot cross. Every excuse you embrace becomes a chain that binds you. Every time you choose the familiar path over the challenging one, you vote against your own potential. Right now, as you listen to these words, your comfort zone is working to convince you that this message is for someone else. It whispers that you are different, that your circumstances are unique, that your limitations are permanent. Do not listen. These are the lies that keep ordinary people ordinary. The greatest battles you will ever fight are not with external circumstances. They are with the voice in your head that tells you to play it safe, to avoid risk, to accept less than you deserve. This voice has one purpose: to keep you exactly where you are. But you were not born to remain where you are. You were born to expand, to grow, to become more than you have ever been. Your comfort zone knows this, and it will fight viciously to prevent your escape. Here is your first assignment. Identify the area of your life where you have been playing it safe. Where have you been accepting mediocrity because it feels secure? Where have you been choosing comfort over growth, safety over achievement, familiarity over possibility? Name it. Face it. Because until you acknowledge the prison, you cannot plan your escape. Breaking through comfort zones is not about reckless abandon or foolish risk-taking. It is about strategic discomfort, calculated courage, and methodical expansion of your capabilities. True breakthrough follows a precise pattern, and those who understand this pattern hold the key to unlimited achievement. First comes recognition. You must develop the ability to recognize when you are operating within the confines of your comfort zone. This requires brutal honesty with yourself. It requires that you examine your daily routines, your typical responses, your standard decisions, and ask yourself this critical question: am I choosing this because it serves my highest good or because it feels safe? Most people live their entire lives without ever asking this question. They mistake activity for achievement, business for progress, routine for success. They are like hamsters on a wheel, expending tremendous energy while remaining exactly where they started. You must be different. You must develop the discipline to pause, to evaluate, to question whether your current path leads to your desired destination or merely keeps you busy along a familiar route. Second comes decision. This is where most people fail. They recognize the need for change. They see the opportunity for growth. They understand the benefits of expansion, but they hesitate. They wait for perfect conditions, for absolute certainty, for guarantees that do not exist. Let me share with you one of the most powerful secrets of achievement. Successful people do not wait for perfect conditions. They create favorable conditions through decisive action. They understand that the perfect moment is a myth, that certainty is an illusion, that guarantees exist only in comfort zones. The decision to break through must be absolute. It cannot be tentative, conditional, or dependent on external circumstances. It must be a declaration of war against your limitations, a commitment to expansion regardless of temporary discomfort. Third comes action, not someday action, not when conditions improve action, immediate, purposeful, relentless action. The moment you decide to break through, your comfort zone begins its counterattack. It floods your mind with doubts, fears, and perfectly logical reasons to delay. The only defense against this assault is immediate forward movement. Here is what I want you to understand. Action creates clarity. You do not need to see the entire staircase to take the first step. You do not need to understand every detail of the journey to begin moving toward your destination. Movement generates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. And confidence dissolves the fears that keep you trapped. But action must be intelligent action. It must be guided by purpose, informed by preparation, and sustained by persistence. Random activity is not breakthrough. Scattered effort is not growth. Thoughtless risk-taking is not courage. Your breakthrough action must be aligned with your definite major purpose, supported by detailed planning, and executed with unwavering determination. It must stretch your capabilities without exceeding your foundation. It must challenge your limits without destroying your resources. Fourth comes persistence through the inevitable resistance. Every breakthrough attempt faces opposition. This opposition comes from three sources: external circumstances, other people, and your own internal resistance. External circumstances will test your resolve. The market will shift, resources will become scarce, unexpected obstacles will appear. These are not signs that you should retreat. These are tests of your commitment to growth. Other people will question your judgment. They will share stories of failure, paint pictures of disaster, offer advice that leads straight back to your comfort zone. They do this not from malice, but from their own fear of your success. Your breakthrough threatens their excuses for remaining where they are. Your internal resistance will be the most formidable opponent. It will use every weapon in its arsenal: fear of failure, fear of success, fear of criticism, fear of change, fear of the unknown. It will remind you of past failures, magnify current challenges, and paint catastrophic pictures of possible futures. You must persist through all of this. Persistence is not stubborn continuation of ineffective methods. It is intelligent adjustment of tactic while maintaining unwavering commitment to your objective. It is flexibility in approach combined with rigidity in purpose. Most people talk themselves out of greatness long before they take their first step toward it. They share their dreams with those who cannot understand them, seek validation from those who fear their success, and allow the opinions of the mediocre to derail their march toward magnificence. This is why strategic silence becomes one of your most powerful weapons in breaking through comfort zones. There is a time to speak and a time to remain silent. There is a time to seek counsel and a time to trust your own judgment. There is a time to explain your vision and a time to simply execute it. When you announce your intention to break through to new levels of achievement, you invite commentary from everyone around you. Some of this commentary will be supportive, but much of it will be discouraging. People who have never attempted what you are attempting will feel qualified to advise you against it. People who have failed in their own breakthrough attempts will project their failures onto your future. Here is what you must understand. The moment you share your breakthrough plans with others, you give them power over your decision. Their fears become your doubts. Their limitations become your considerations. Their comfort zones begin to influence your expansion plans. This does not mean you should never seek advice or counsel. It means you must be strategic about from whom you seek it and when you seek it. Seek advice from those who have successfully navigated the territory you wish to enter. Seek counsel from those whose achievements inspire you, not from those whose fears resonate with your own. But even more important than strategic seeking of advice is strategic silence about your plans. There is tremendous power in moving quietly toward your objectives while others are debating whether such movement is wise. There is incredible advantage in making progress while others are making excuses. Your breakthrough does not require the approval of others. It does not need the understanding of your peers. It does not depend on the encouragement of your friends or family. It requires only your decision, your action, and your persistence. Let your results speak for your wisdom. Let your achievement validate your choices. Let your success silence the critics who predicted your failure. But understand this, strategic silence is not secretive isolation. It is not withdrawing from all human contact or refusing all input. It is choosing carefully what you share, with whom you share it, and when you share it. It is protecting your vision from those who would diminish it, and your confidence from those who would undermine it. During my years of research for Think and Grow Rich, I learned to share my progress selectively. I discussed my findings with those who could contribute to them and remained silent about my struggles with those who would use them to discourage me. This strategic approach protected my mission from the well, meaning but limiting advice of those who could not envision what I was trying to accomplish. Your breakthrough journey will be filled with moments when silence serves you better than explanation, when discretion protects your progress better than transparency, when keeping your own counsel proves wiser than seeking the counsel of others. Develop the discipline of strategic silence. Learn to distinguish between productive discussion and energy-draining debate. Master the art of protecting your vision while remaining open to valuable input. Remember, every minute you spend defending your dreams to those who cannot understand them is a minute you could have spent making them reality. Here is one of the most liberating truths you will ever encounter. Your worth is not determined by the opinions of others. Your potential is not limited by their expectations. Your future is not constrained by their vision of what is possible for you. Yet most people live their entire lives seeking validation from others, conforming to expectations that were never their own, pursuing goals that bring approval rather than fulfillment. They have surrendered their power to those who lack the courage to break through their own comfort zones. This ends now. This ends with you. Breaking through comfort zones requires that you become the source of your own validation. It demands that you develop unshakable confidence in your own judgment, unwavering faith in your own abilities, and absolute trust in your own vision. This is not arrogance. This is independence. This is not disregard for valuable input. This is discernment about whose input truly serves your highest good. When you depend on external validation, you give others control over your actions. When you need their approval to proceed, you allow their fears to limit your possibilities. When you require their understanding to maintain your confidence, you surrender your power to those who may lack the vision to see what you see. True breakthrough champions develop what I call validation independence. They learn to generate their own confidence, create their own encouragement, and maintain their own motivation regardless of external circumstances or opinions. This independence is not developed overnight. It is built through consistent practice of trusting your own judgment, especially when that judgment contradicts popular opinion. It is strengthened through repeatedly choosing your own path, even when others question your direction. It is reinforced through celebrating your own progress, even when others fail to recognize your achievement. Let me tell you about a man who exemplified this principle Thomas Edison faced countless critics who told him his ideas were impossible, his methods were flawed, his persistence was foolish. When he was working on the incandescent light bulb, experts proclaimed it a waste of time. When he failed in his first 1,000 attempts, they called him a failure. But Edison had developed validation independence. He did not need their approval to continue his work. He did not require their understanding to maintain his vision. He had learned to generate his own confidence through his own progress, to create his own motivation through his own purpose. The result, he gave the world electric light and became one of history's most prolific inventors. His breakthrough came not because others believed in his vision, but because he maintained faith in it when others doubted. You must develop this same independence. You must learn to be your own source of encouragement when others discourage you, your own source of validation when others question you, your own source of motivation when others try to limit you. This begins with a fundamental shift in how you measure success. Instead of measuring your progress by others' reactions, measure it by your own advancement. Instead of evaluating your choices by others' approval, evaluate them by their alignment with your purpose. Instead of validating your worth through others' opinions, validate it through your own growth. Start practicing validation independence today. Make decisions based on your own judgment rather than others' expectations. Pursue goals that fulfill your vision rather than goals that bring approval. Measure your success by your own standards rather than by popular opinion. This independence will serve you powerfully when you face the inevitable resistance that comes with breaking through comfort zones. When others question your judgment, you will have confidence in your own decision-making ability. When others doubt your vision, you will maintain faith in your own insight. When others predict your failure, you will draw strength from your own purpose. Remember, those who achieve breakthrough success are not those who wait for permission from others. They are those who give themselves permission to pursue their highest possibilities, regardless of external validation. Your mind is the ultimate battlefield where your breakthrough is won or lost. Every limitation you will ever face, every obstacle you will ever encounter, every challenge you will ever meet begins as a thought in your consciousness. Master your thoughts, and you master your destiny. Allow your thoughts to control you, and you surrender your power to circumstances beyond your control. The mind that accepts comfort zones is a mind that has been conditioned to avoid discomfort, to seek security, to choose the familiar over the unknown. This conditioning did not happen overnight, and it will not be overcome instantly, but it can be overcome systematically, deliberately, and permanently. First, you must understand the nature of mental conditioning. Every time you choose comfort over growth, security over opportunity, the familiar over the challenging, you strengthen the neural pathways that keep you trapped. Every time you make excuses for avoiding breakthrough action, you reinforce the mental patterns that justify limitation. But here is the magnificent truth The same mechanism that created your limitations can be used to destroy them. The same process that conditioned you to accept mediocrity can be redirected to demand excellence. The same mental power that keeps you trapped can be harnessed to set you free. This transformation begins with what I call mental rebellion. You must rebel against every thought that justifies your limitations. You must challenge every belief that supports your excuses. You must question every assumption that keeps you comfortable but unfulfilled. When your mind tells you that your goal is impossible, rebel against that thought. Ask yourself, impossible for whom? Based on what evidence, according to whose limitations? Demand proof of impossibility, and you will discover that most limitations are assumptions rather than facts. When your mind tells you that the risk is too great, rebel against that assessment. Ask yourself, too great compared to what? What is the risk of remaining where you are? What is the cost of accepting limitation? Often, the greatest risk is not in attempting breakthrough, but in avoiding it. When your mind tells you that you lack the necessary resources, rebel against that conclusion. Ask yourself, what resources do I have that I am not fully utilizing? What capabilities do I possess that I am not fully developing? What possibilities exist that I am not fully exploring? This mental rebellion must be followed by mental reconstruction. You cannot simply destroy limiting thoughts. You must replace them with empowering ones. You cannot merely eliminate restrictive beliefs. You must install expansive ones. You cannot just remove mental barriers. You must build mental bridges to your breakthrough. Begin each day by programming your mind for expansion rather than limitation. Fill your consciousness with thoughts of possibility rather than thoughts of restriction. Focus your mental energy on what you can achieve rather than on what you cannot accomplish. Study the thoughts of those who have achieved breakthrough success in your field. Read their words, understand their thinking, adopt their mental frameworks. Your mind learns by imitation before it innovates through creation. Model the thought patterns of breakthrough achievers before you develop your own unique approach. But be selective about what you allow into your consciousness. Your mind is like a garden. It will grow whatever you plant in it. Plant thoughts of limitation, and you will harvest the life of restriction. Plant thoughts of possibility, and you will harvest a life of achievement. Guard your mental inputs as carefully as you would guard your physical health. Avoid conversations that reinforce limitation. Minimize exposure to media that celebrates mediocrity. Distance yourself from people whose primary conversation topics revolve around problems rather than solutions, limitations rather than possibilities, excuses rather than opportunities. Instead, seek out material that expands your vision of what is possible. Surround yourself with information that stretches your concept of what you can achieve. Immerse yourself in the stories and strategies of those who have successfully broken through barriers similar to the ones you face. Your breakthrough is not just about changing your actions. It is about transforming your thinking. It is not just about doing different things. It is about thinking different thoughts. It is not just about breaking through external barriers. It is about demolishing internal limitations. The battlefield of the mind is where your greatest victories will be won and your most important defeats will be suffered. Approach this battlefield with strategy, fight with intelligence, and persist until victory is yours. Most people spend their lives avoiding discomfort, seeking ease, pursuing the path of least resistance. They have been conditioned to believe that comfort equals success, that ease equals achievement, that the absence of challenge equals the presence of progress. This is perhaps the most destructive lie ever told to the human spirit. Comfort is not the reward for achievement. It is the enemy of growth. Ease is not the sign of success. It is the warning of stagnation. The absence of challenge is not proof of mastery. It is evidence of limitation. Every breakthrough you will ever achieve exists on the other side of discomfort. Every new level of success requires that you become comfortable with being uncomfortable. Every expansion of your capabilities demands that you stretch beyond your current capacity. This is why you must learn to use discomfort strategically. Instead of avoiding it, you must seek it purposefully. Instead of minimizing it, you must maximize its growth potential. Instead of fearing it, you must embrace it as your pathway to breakthrough. Strategic discomfort is not random suffering or purposeless pain. It is the deliberate choice to engage challenges that expand your capabilities, to pursue opportunities that stretch your comfort zone, to take actions that require growth rather than just effort. When a weightlifter wants to build muscle, he does not lift weights to feel comfortable. He lifts weights that challenge his current strength, that force his muscles to adapt, that create the productive stress necessary for growth. He understands that muscle growth occurs not during comfort, but during strategic stress. Your breakthrough operates on the same principle. Your capabilities expand not when you remain within familiar territory, but when you venture into challenging terrain. Your confidence grows not when you repeat comfortable actions, but when you successfully navigate uncomfortable situations. But strategic discomfort must be intelligent discomfort. It must challenge you without overwhelming you, stretch you without breaking you, push you without destroying you. The goal is productive stress, not destructive strain. Begin by identifying areas where you have been avoiding necessary discomfort. Where have you been choosing the easy path when the challenging path would serve you better? Where have you been accepting familiar mediocrity when unfamiliar excellence was possible? Perhaps you have been avoiding important conversations because they feel uncomfortable. Perhaps you have been declining valuable opportunities because they require capabilities you have not yet developed. Perhaps you have been postponing significant decisions because they involve risks you have not yet accepted. These avoided discomforts are marking the boundaries of your comfort zone. They are pointing you toward your breakthrough opportunities. They are showing you exactly where your growth potential lies. Your next step is to begin engaging these discomforts systematically. Do not attempt to tackle them all simultaneously. That leads to overwhelm rather than breakthrough. Instead, choose one area where strategic discomfort can accelerate your progress and commit to engaging it consistently. If public speaking terrifies you but would advance your career, commit to speaking opportunities that progressively stretch your comfort zone. If networking feels uncomfortable but would expand your business, commit to relationship building activities that gradually increase your social confidence. If learning new skills seems overwhelming but would multiply your value, commit to educational pursuits that systematically expand your capabilities. As you engage strategic discomfort, you will discover something remarkable. What feels uncomfortable today becomes comfortable tomorrow. What challenges you this week strengthens you next week. What stretches you this month becomes your new normal next month. This is how breakthrough achievers expand their comfort zones, not by massive leaps that create overwhelm, but by consistent steps that create adaptation. They understand that the secret is not in avoiding discomfort, but in making friends with it, not in eliminating challenge, but in growing through it. Remember, your comfort zone will expand to accommodate your breakthrough achievements, but only after you achieve them, not before. You must be willing to be uncomfortable today so that you can be unstoppable tomorrow. Most people quit when they encounter their first real obstacle. They interpret resistance as rejection, difficulty as impossibility, temporary setback as permanent failure. They have never learned the most crucial skill of breakthrough achievement, strategic persistence. Persistence is not stubborn continuation of ineffective methods. It is not blind repetition of unsuccessful approaches. It is not foolish refusal to acknowledge changed circumstances. True persistence is intelligent adjustment of tactics while maintaining unwavering commitment to objectives. Every breakthrough achievement in history required persistence through periods when success seemed impossible. Every innovator faced moments when their vision appeared foolish. Every champion encountered circumstances when defeat seemed inevitable. What separated them from the masses was not the absence of obstacles, but their response to obstacles. When I began my research for the principles of success, I faced countless rejections, endless skepticism, and numerous setbacks. Publishing houses rejected my manuscript. Critics dismissed my research. Financial pressures threatened to end my project before completion. But I had learned something that most people never discover. Obstacles are not stop signs. They are detour signs. They do not indicate that your destination is unreachable. They indicate that your current route requires adjustment. This understanding transforms your relationship with resistance. Instead of viewing obstacles as evidence of impossibility, you begin to see them as information about necessary adjustments. Instead of interpreting setbacks as signals to quit, you recognize them as guidance about needed modifications. The persistence protocol has three essential components: unwavering purpose, flexible strategy, and relentless action. Unwavering purpose means your commitment to your breakthrough objective remains constant regardless of temporary circumstances. Your destination does not change because your current path encounters obstacles. Your vision does not diminish because your present methods face resistance. Your determination does not weaken because your immediate results disappoint. This unwavering purpose must be anchored in something deeper than mere desire. It must be rooted in definite major purpose, supported by compelling reasons, and reinforced by clear visualization of achievements. When your purpose is definite, specific, and emotionally compelling, temporary obstacles become minor inconveniences rather than major discouragements. Flexible strategy means your methods adjust to meet changing circumstances while your objectives remain fixed. You modify your approach based on feedback from your environment. You alter your tactics based on new information. You adapt your techniques based on lessons learned from both success and failure. This flexibility prevents you from becoming trapped in ineffective methods. It allows you to learn from each attempt. Whether successful or unsuccessful, it enables you to find alternative routes when your primary path becomes blocked. But flexibility without action leads to endless planning and preparation. Strategy without execution produces no results. Adjustment without forward movement creates the illusion of progress while generating no advancement. This is why relentless action completes the persistence protocol. You must maintain consistent forward movement toward your breakthrough objective regardless of temporary setbacks or necessary adjustments. Every day must include some action, however small, that moves you closer to your goal. This action does not need to be dramatic or visible to others. It can be research that increases your knowledge, practice that improves your skills, networking that expands your relationships, or planning that clarifies your strategy. The key is consistency of movement, not magnitude of individual actions. When you combine unwavering purpose, flexible strategy, and relentless action, you become virtually unstoppable. Obstacles become learning opportunities. Setbacks become setup opportunities. Failures become feedback opportunities. Every experience contributes to your eventual breakthrough. But understand this, the persistence protocol demands patience with the process while maintaining urgency with the actions. You must be patient enough to allow your breakthrough to develop naturally while being urgent enough to take maximum advantage of every opportunity for progress. This balance between patience and urgency separates true persistence from both passive waiting and frantic activity. You neither wait for perfect conditions nor rush toward premature results. You maintain steady, intelligent, purposeful action while allowing adequate time for that action to produce breakthrough results. Your breakthrough is not just possible, it is inevitable when you apply the persistence protocol consistently and intelligently. The only question is not whether you will break through, but how quickly you will develop the persistent skills necessary to make breakthrough your standard experience rather than your occasional achievement. Fear is the guardian of your comfort zone. It stands at the boundary between your current reality and your breakthrough potential. challenging every attempt to cross that boundary. Most people encounter this guardian and retreat, interpreting fear as a warning to avoid rather than a signal to advance. But breakthrough achievers understand something that the masses never discover. Fear is not the enemy of success. It is the compass that points toward your greatest opportunities for growth. Where you feel the most fear is often where you have the most potential for breakthrough. This revelation transforms your relationship with fear entirely. Instead of avoiding situations that generate fear, you begin seeking them as indicators of growth opportunities. Instead of minimizing fear, you begin examining it for the valuable information it contains. Instead of being paralyzed by fear, you begin being energized by it. Fear serves several important functions in your breakthrough journey. First, it alerts you to situations that matter deeply to you. You do not fear things that are unimportant to your success or happiness. You fear things that have the potential to significantly impact your life, either positively or negatively. When you feel fear about pursuing a particular opportunity, that fear is telling you that this opportunity has the potential to create meaningful change in your life. When you feel fear about taking a specific action, that fear is informing you that this action could significantly alter your circumstances. Second, fear identifies the boundaries of your current comfort zone. The intensity of your fear often correlates directly with the distance of the opportunity from your familiar territory. Mild fear indicates minor expansion opportunities. Intense fear often points toward major breakthrough possibilities. Third, fear reveals the areas where you need to develop greater confidence and capability. The specific nature of your fears provides a precise roadmap for your personal development priorities. If you fear public speaking, that fear points toward communication skills development. If you fear financial risk, that fear highlights the need for better financial education and planning. Once you understand these functions of fear, you can begin transforming it from an obstacle into an asset. This transformation requires a systematic approach to fear analysis and fear utilization. Begin by identifying your specific fears related to your breakthrough objectives. What exactly do you fear about pursuing your goals? What specific scenarios generate anxiety when you visualize your success journey? What particular aspects of your breakthrough challenge create the most emotional resistance? Write these fears down with complete honesty. Do not minimize them or dismiss them as irrational. Every fear contains valuable information, even fears that seem unreasonable or exaggerated. The goal is not to judge your fears, but to understand them and use them strategically. Next, analyze each fear for the information it contains. What is this fear trying to protect you from? What capability does it suggest you need to develop? What preparation does it indicate would be valuable? What knowledge does it suggest you should acquire? Transform each fear into a specific action plan. If you fear failure, develop contingency plans that minimize the impact of potential setbacks. If you fear criticism, build confidence through skill development and preparation. If you fear financial loss, create financial buffers and risk management strategies. Most importantly, use fear as motivation for immediate action rather than justification or postponement. The moment you feel fear about a growth opportunity, take some action toward that opportunity, however small. This breaks the association between fear and inaction, replacing it with an association between fear and progress. When you consistently respond to fear with purposeful action, something remarkable happens. You begin to welcome fear as a sign that you're pushing boundaries and expanding possibilities. You start to feel excited when you encounter fear because you recognize it as evidence that you are approaching breakthrough territory. This does not mean that fear disappears. Breakthrough achievers still feel fear. They simply refuse to be controlled by it. They feel the fear and take action anyway. They acknowledge the fear and proceed purposefully despite it. They respect the fear, but do not surrender their power to it. Remember, courage is not the absence of fear. It is action in the presence of fear. Breakthrough is not achieved by those who feel no fear. It is achieved by those who transform fear into fuel for extraordinary achievement. Success creates success. Achievement generates achievement. Breakthrough builds upon breakthrough. This is the momentum principle, and understanding it can accelerate your progress exponentially, while ignoring it can keep you trapped in cycles of starting, of stopping, advancing and retreating, progressing and regressing. Momentum is not just about maintaining forward movement. It is about creating a self-reinforcing cycle of achievement that makes each subsequent breakthrough easier than the previous one. It is about building success systems that generate their own energy, create their own opportunities, and produce their own motivation. Most people underestimate the power of momentum because they focus on individual actions rather than cumulative effects. They see each effort as separate from every other effort, each achievement as unrelated to every other achievement, each breakthrough as independent of every other breakthrough. But breakthrough achievers understand that every action either builds momentum or diminishes it. Every decision either accelerates progress or decelerates it. Every day either adds to their breakthrough momentum or subtracts from it. The momentum principle operates through three interconnected mechanisms: confidence building, capability expansion, and opportunity multiplication. Confidence building occurs when each successful action increases your belief in your ability to achieve even greater success. When you successfully break through one comfort zone barrier, you develop confidence in your ability to break through others. When you successfully navigate one challenging situation, you build faith in your capacity to handle even more challenging circumstances. This confidence building is not just psychological, it is practical. Each breakthrough teaches you specific skills, reveals effective strategies, and provides valuable experience that applies to future challenges. Your confidence grows because your capabilities actually expand with each achievement. Capability expansion happens when each breakthrough experience develops skills and knowledge that make subsequent breakthroughs more accessible. The public speaking skills you develop by overcoming your fear of presentations make it easier to overcome your fear of networking. The negotiation skills you build by asking for a raise make it easier to negotiate better business deals. Every breakthrough creates a platform for the next breakthrough. Every expansion of your comfort zone creates new territory from which to launch further expansion. Every achievement becomes the foundation for greater achievement. Opportunity multiplication occurs when your growing reputation for breakthrough achievement attracts more opportunities for breakthrough achievement. When people see you consistently expanding your capabilities and achieving your goals, they begin offering you opportunities that require expanded capabilities and ambitious goals. Success attracts success. Achievement attracts opportunity. Breakthrough attracts bigger breakthrough possibilities. To harness the momentum principle, you must become strategic about momentum building. You cannot leave it to chance or hope it develops naturally. You must deliberately create and maintain forward momentum through systematic action. Start by achieving small breakthroughs consistently rather than attempting massive breakthroughs sporadically. Small, consistent victories build momentum more effectively than large, occasional achievements followed by long periods of inactivity. Choose breakthrough challenges that build upon each other. Look for connections between different areas of growth so that progress in one area accelerates progress in others. Develop skills that transfer across multiple applications. Build capabilities that serve various objectives. Document your breakthrough achievements to maintain awareness of your momentum. Keep a record of barriers you have overcome, comfort zones you have expanded, achievements you have accomplished. This documentation serves as both motivation during difficult periods and evidence of your expanding capabilities. Celebrate your breakthrough achievements to reinforce the positive emotions associated with growth and expansion. Celebration is not just reward for past achievement, it is fuel for future achievement. It creates positive associations with breakthrough behavior that motivate continued breakthrough action. Share your breakthrough stories strategically to attract momentum, building opportunities. When others understand your commitment to growth and your track record of achievement, they become more likely to offer you growth opportunities, achievement partnerships, and breakthrough possibilities. But remember, momentum must be maintained through consistent action. It is easier to maintain momentum than to recreate it. Daily breakthrough actions, however small, maintain forward momentum more effectively than sporadic breakthrough efforts, however large. The momentum principle is one of your most powerful allies in breaking through comfort zones. Use it wisely, and it will carry you to heights you never imagined possible. Now comes the moment of transformation from understanding to application, from knowledge to action, from inspiration to achievement. Everything you have learned means nothing until it becomes something you do. Every principle remains powerless until it becomes practice. Every strategy stays theoretical until it becomes tactical. Your breakthrough blueprint is not a rigid formula, but a flexible framework that adapts to your unique circumstances while incorporating the universal principles of comfort zone expansion. It is your personalized roadmap for transforming your current reality into your desired reality. The blueprint has 5 essential components: definition, preparation, execution, evaluation, and evolution. Definition requires that you clearly identify your specific breakthrough objective. This is not a vague wish or general desire, but a precise, measurable, time-bound goal that stretches your current capabilities while remaining within the realm of possibility. Your breakthrough objective must be significant enough to matter deeply to you, but specific enough to guide daily actions. It must be challenging enough to require growth, but achievable enough to maintain motivation. It must be personal enough to generate internal drive, but compelling enough to sustain effort through inevitable obstacles. Write your breakthrough objective in clear, specific language. Include what you want to achieve, by when you want to achieve it, and how you will measure your progress. Make it real on paper before you make it real in life. Preparation involves developing the knowledge, skills, resources, and relationships necessary to support your breakthrough achievement. This preparation is not procrastination disguised as planning. It is strategic development that accelerates progress rather than delaying it. Identify the specific capabilities you need to develop, the knowledge you need to acquire, the resources you need to secure, and the relationships you need to build. Create a preparation plan that develops these elements systematically while maintaining forward momentum toward your objective. But do not wait until your preparation is complete to begin execution. Preparation and execution should happen simultaneously, with each informing and improving the other. Perfect preparation is impossible. Adequate preparation is sufficient for beginning breakthrough action. Execution is where your breakthrough actually happens. This is where theory becomes practice, where planning becomes results, where dreams become reality. Execution requires that you take consistent, purposeful action toward your breakthrough objective despite fear, doubt, obstacles, and setbacks. Your execution must be both persistent and flexible. Persistent in that you maintain consistent action regardless of temporary discouragements. Flexible in that you adjust your methods based on feedback and changing circumstances. Break your breakthrough objective into daily actions that move you consistently toward your goal. Each day must include at least one action, however small, that expands your comfort zone and advances your progress. These daily actions create the momentum that transforms breakthrough from possibility into inevitability. Evaluation means regularly assessing your progress, analyzing your results, and identifying necessary adjustments. This evaluation is not judgment of your worth, but measurement of your effectiveness. It provides the information necessary to optimize your approach and accelerate your progress. Schedule regular evaluation sessions where you honestly assess what is working, what is not working, and what needs to change. Look for patterns in your successes and failures. Identify the strategies that produce the best results and the obstacles that create the greatest challenges. Use this evaluation information to refine your approach continuously. Breakthrough achievement is not about perfect execution of a perfect plan. It is about consistent improvement of an evolving strategy. Evolution represents your ongoing development as a breakthrough achiever. Each breakthrough you accomplish prepares you for even greater breakthroughs. Each comfort zone you expand creates the foundation for expanding larger comfort zones. Each achievement becomes the platform for greater achievement. Your breakthrough blueprint must evolve as you evolve. The objectives that challenge you today may become routine capabilities tomorrow. The fears that intimidate you this month may become insignificant concerns next month. Your capacity for breakthrough will continuously expand as you consistently engage in breakthrough activities. But evolution requires that you continuously raise your standards, expand your vision, and pursue increasingly meaningful objectives. You cannot achieve breakthrough once and then retreat to comfortable mediocrity. Breakthrough must become your standard approach to life, not your occasional exception to it. Here is your specific action plan for implementing your breakthrough blueprint immediately. First, within the next 24 hours, write your specific breakthrough objective using the criteria outlined above. Do not spend weeks perfecting this objective. Spend hours clarifying it and then begin acting on it. You can refine your objective as you progress, but you cannot make progress without an objective. Second, within the next 48 hours, identify the primary comfort zone barrier that stands between you and your breakthrough objective. This is the specific fear, limitation, or restriction that you must overcome to achieve your goal. Name it clearly so you can address it strategically. Third, within the next 72 hours, take your first breakthrough action. This action should stretch your comfort zone while moving you toward your objective. It does not need to be dramatic or visible to others, but it must be meaningful to you and challenging for you. Fourth, establish a daily breakthrough routine that includes at least one comfort zone, expanding action every day. This routine creates the consistency necessary for momentum building and the persistence necessary for obstacle overcoming. Fifth, create an accountability system that monitors your progress and maintains your commitment. This can include written progress tracking, regular evaluation sessions, or partnership with someone who understands and supports your breakthrough objectives. Your breakthrough is not just possible, it is inevitable when you apply these principles consistently and intelligently. But application must begin immediately, not eventually. Tomorrow is not guaranteed, and perfect conditions are not coming. The only moment you can control is this moment, and the only action you can take is the next action. Every breakthrough you achieve extends far beyond your personal benefit. Every comfort zone you expand creates possibilities for others to expand theirs. Every limitation you overcome gives others permission to overcome theirs. Every achievement you accomplish demonstrates to the world that breakthrough is possible for anyone willing to pay the price. This is the legacy perspective that transforms breakthrough from personal accomplishments into social contribution. When you break through your limitations, you break through limitations for everyone who observes your achievement. When you refuse to accept mediocrity for yourself, you challenge others to refuse mediocrity for themselves. History is written by breakthrough achievers. Every significant advance in human civilization came from individuals who refused to accept the limitations of their time, who pushed beyond the comfort zones of their culture, who achieved things that others considered impossible. The technology that enables you to hear these words came from breakthrough achievers who refused to accept the communication limitations of their era. The freedoms you enjoy came from breakthrough achievers who refused to accept the political limitations of their time. The opportunities available to you came from breakthrough achievers who refused to accept the economic limitations of their circumstances. Your breakthrough opportunity is not just about improving your own life, though we'll certainly do that. It is about contributing to the ongoing expansion of human possibility, adding your achievement to the collective evidence that limitations are temporary and breakthrough is available to anyone willing to pursue it persistently and intelligently. But this legacy perspective brings both opportunity and responsibility. The opportunity is that your breakthrough can inspire and enable others to achieve their own breakthroughs. The responsibility is that your failure to break through not only limits you, but also reinforces the limitations that others use to justify their own acceptance of mediocrity. When you retreat from breakthrough opportunities, you send a message to everyone around you that breakthrough is too difficult, too risky, too unlikely to be worth pursuing. When you advance through breakthrough challenges, you send a message that breakthrough is possible, worthwhile, and available to anyone willing to engage the process intelligently. This is why your breakthrough matters to more than just you. This is why your comfort zone expansion affects more than just your own possibilities. This is why your achievement or lack of achievement influences more than just your personal circumstances. You have been given breakthrough capabilities not just for your own benefit, but for the benefit of everyone whose life you touch. Your family, your friends, your colleagues, your community, and even strangers who observe your example are all influenced by your choices about breaking through or remaining comfortable. Consider the ripple effects of your breakthrough achievement. Your success in overcoming fear might inspire your children to face their own fears more courageously. Your achievement in expanding your capabilities might motivate your colleagues to develop their own potential more fully. Your example of persistence through obstacles might encourage others to persist through their own challenges more effectively. But consider also the ripple effects of your retreat from breakthrough opportunities. Your surrender to fear might teach your children that fear should be avoided rather than overcome. Your acceptance of limitation might convince your colleagues that limitation is permanent rather than temporary, your abandonment of challenging goals might influence others to abandon their own ambitious objectives. The legacy perspective transforms breakthrough from optional to essential. It changes breakthrough from something you might do to something you must do. It elevates breakthrough from personal preference to moral responsibility. This perspective also provides additional motivation during the inevitable difficult periods of your breakthrough journey. When you encounter obstacles that test your commitment, remember that your persistence benefits more than just you. When you face fears that challenge your courage, remember that your breakthrough demonstrates courage to others. When you struggle with the discomfort of growth, remember that your expansion creates permission for others to expand. Your breakthrough legacy begins the moment you make the decision to break through. It builds with every action you take toward your objectives. It strengthens with every obstacle you overcome. It expands with every achievement you accomplish. But your legacy is determined not just by what you achieve, but by how you achieve it. Not just by your destination, but by your journey. Not just by your success, but by your character throughout the process of breakthrough. Breakthrough with integrity, maintaining your values while expanding your capabilities. Breakthrough with humility, recognizing that your achievement builds upon the achievements of those who came before you. Breakthrough with generosity, sharing your knowledge and experience with others who are following similar paths. Your breakthrough legacy will outlast your lifetime. Long after you are gone, the example you set will continue influencing others to break through their own limitations. The achievements you accomplish will continue opening doors for others to walk through. The barriers you overcome will remain broken for others to pass beyond. This is the ultimate significance of breaking through comfort zones. You do not just change your own life, you change the world by expanding the boundaries of what others believe is possible. We have reached the moment that separates those who achieve breakthrough from those who merely dream about it. We have arrived at the point where inspiration must transform into action, where knowledge must become behavior, where possibility must become reality. Everything you have heard today has prepared you for this moment. Every principle you have learned has equipped you for this decision. Every strategy you have discovered has positioned you for this choice. The choice is simple, but not easy. Will you break through your comfort zones, or will you remain trapped within them? Will you expand your possibilities, or will you accept your limitations? Will you become the person your potential demands, or will you settle for the person your fears allow? This decision cannot be postponed, delegated, or avoided. This decision cannot be made partially, conditionally, or temporarily. This decision requires absolute commitment, immediate action, and persistent follow-through. Your comfort zones are waiting to see what you will do. They are prepared to expand if you demand expansion or to contract. If you accept contraction, they will accommodate whatever level of achievement you consistently pursue and whatever level of mediocrity you consistently accept. Your fears are waiting to see how you will respond. They are ready to transform into courage if you face them, or to multiply into paralysis if you flee from them. They will become your allies if you use them strategically, or your enemies if they use you systematically. Your potential is waiting to see if you will claim it. It is prepared to manifest if you pursue it relentlessly, or to remain dormant if you ignore it consistently. It will reward your breakthrough efforts with breakthrough results, or punish your comfort zone choices with comfort zone consequences. The moment of decision is now. Not tomorrow when conditions improve. Not next week when you feel more prepared. Not next month when circumstances align more favorably. Now, while the inspiration is fresh, while the knowledge is clear, while the motivation is strong, your first breakthrough action must happen within the next 24 hours. This action does not need to be dramatic, but it must be definite. It does not need to be visible to others, but it must be meaningful to you. It does not need to guarantee success, but it must demonstrate commitment. This first action will activate the momentum principle. It will begin building the confidence that supports future breakthrough attempts. It will start expanding the comfort zone that currently limits your possibilities. It will initiate the transformation process that converts limitation into liberation. This first action must be followed by a second action, and a third action, and a continuous series of actions that maintain forward momentum regardless of temporary obstacles or setbacks. Breakthrough is not achieved through single actions, but through consistent patterns of breakthrough behavior. You now possess the knowledge necessary for breakthrough achievement. You understand the principles that govern comfort zone expansion. You have the strategies that transform fear into fuel and obstacles into opportunities. You know the blueprint for converting potential into performance. The question is not whether breakthrough is possible for you. Breakthrough is inevitable for anyone who applies these principles consistently and intelligently. The question is whether you will apply these principles starting now, or continue postponing your breakthrough indefinitely while hoping that conditions will somehow become more favorable. They will not become more favorable. The perfect moment is a myth. The ideal circumstances are an illusion. The guaranteed path is a fantasy. Breakthrough requires that you begin where you are with what you have, under current conditions, despite present limitations. Your comfort zones have served their purpose. They have kept you safe during the preparation phase of your life. But the preparation phase is over. The achievement phase begins now. The breakthrough phase starts today. You are no longer the person who needs comfort zones for security. You are now the person who needs breakthrough challenges for growth. You are no longer the person who must avoid risk to survive. You are now the person who must embrace strategic risk to thrive. Your time has come. Your moment is here. Your breakthrough awaits. The only question remaining is this: what will you do in the next 24 hours to begin breaking through the comfort zones that have limited you long enough? Answer that question with action, not words. Demonstrate your decision through behavior, not intentions. Prove your commitment through results, not promises. Your breakthrough legacy begins with your next choice. Your unlimited future starts with your immediate action. Your transformation from limited to limitless begins right now. The comfort zones that have contained you are about to become the launching pads that propel you toward achievements you have only dared to dream about. The fears that have controlled you are about to become the fuel that powers your greatest accomplishments. The limitations that have defined you are about to become the barriers you leave broken in your wake as you advance toward your highest possibilities. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your breakthrough. Make it count.